Good day, my fellow watchers. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sister Princess here. Thank you for joining me again. So last time I introduced my channel and I said that this channel will be based on Isaiah 62 verse 6. Okay. Now, today I'm just going to briefly talk about watchman. So I'm going to talk about who is a watchman. I'm going to talk about why does Jerusalem need a watchman? Okay, what does it mean to be a watchman? Where do we find watchmen? And when is a watchman needed? Okay, so we'll start with the first one, which is who is a watchman? A watchman is anyone that God raises up over his people, someone to stand in the gap, someone to stay vigilant, okay, someone to warn his people, okay. So if you avail yourself, right, anybody can be a watchman, all right. So, second, what does it mean to be a watchman? Okay, so what does it mean to be a watchman? It means to stand in the gap for the people of God, to warn them of impending doom or calamity. Remember, I am from Africa, and in Africa, sometimes you have watchmen that you set up over your house. Okay, so those people, they're not supposed to sleep, right? They watch whether there is intruders, there's thieves come trying to break in, and then they will now sound the alarm. So they are there as a form of what? Protection, right? So you are able to sleep soundly, and if something does happen, someone tries to break in, they will sound the alarm, and so you can get up, do the needful to protect yourself and your family. So that is the role of a watchman, to stand in the gap, to be vigilant, to be prayerful in this case, all right, in case there's any attacks, all right. Now, so that's what does it mean to be a watchman, okay? Briefly put, somebody to stand in the gap. All right. Why does Jerusalem need a watchman? Okay, now the watchman symbolizes, okay, prayer, awareness, and divine protection. Okay, let's turn to the book of Ezekiel 3, verse 17. Okay, and I'm reading from the NIV. Okay, so it says, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Okay, this is God speaking. This is the book of Ezekiel. So, Son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Okay, therefore, hear a word from my mouth and give them warning from me. Okay, verse 18. When I say to the wicked, you shall surely die, and you give him no warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, that same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hand. Okay, verse 19. Yet, if you warn the wicked, and he does not turn from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you have delivered your soul. Okay? So we see here that God is telling, okay, in this case, the prophet Ezekiel, that I have appointed you. So who appoints watchmen? It's God. It's Yahweh. It's Yahweh. It's Jehovah. So he does the appointing. So he appointed Ezekiel as a watchman over his people. And he tells him, look, if I give you a word and you go and you warn the people, right? And the people change, okay? Now, in this case, they turn from their evil way. Basically, right, you will have what? You will have saved a soul, and their blood I will not require of your hand. But if you don't warn them, okay, just know that, okay, their blood will be required of your hand. So you have a duty and a big role to play as a watchman, because God is counting on you, all right, to deliver his message. God wants to use you as a mouthpiece. Now remember, Jerusalem, as we speak, Jerusalem or Israel, we are talking about a people, okay? We are talking about a lineage, okay? So when we talk about the Jerusalem, when we talk about Israel, just think of it as a people that have fallen, okay? Remember, the covenant was made with Abraham. The covenant passed down to Isaac and to Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel. Okay, so when we talk about Israel, when we talk about Jerusalem, we are talking about a people, okay, that have fallen. All right, so that is why do we need, why does Jerusalem need a watchman? All right, now where do we find watchmen? We find them everywhere. A watchman could be a family member, friend, teacher. A watchman could be anyone. Like I said, God can appoint anyone, especially in this our end time. God can raise up anyone, anybody that can come and give you a warning if they see that your soul, okay, you're going off track. You've backslided. You've turned your back. Whoever God sends to you and say, "Hey, watch out! The path that you're going in, it's not good for your soul." Okay, turn back. That could be a watchman. So where do we find them? Anywhere. God being so good and gracious, he can send you anybody to come and warn you, to come and say, "Hey, I had a dream, I see that, you're moving this way, turn back, because the way you're going is slippery." All right. Now, next we have, when is a watchman needed? A watchman is needed every day, all the time. Remember, us as children of light, as children of God, we are supposed to pray all the time, right? The scriptures say that we should what? Always be prayerful. Pray without ceasing, because the devil is roaring about, right? So the watchman is always vigilant, okay? So a watchman is needed all the time, in terms of trouble, in terms of happiness, right? Because just when you get too comfy and comfortable, the enemy can strike anytime. So a watchman job is always to be alert, to be spiritually discerning, to always warn his people, right? That, hey, calamity is coming. Hey, we should be prayerful. Hey, because the watchman stands in the gap 24/7. And that's why in the book of Ezekiel, it says, "I have set them before you. They will not sleep day or night until Jerusalem becomes a praise of the earth." Because as we speak, the people of Jerusalem have fallen, right? And so they need watchmen, right? And so those are basically the 5 W's of why we need a watchman, where can we find it, when do we need them, and what are what does it mean to be a watchman. So I hope that has cleared up a little bit of what it is, and that we're going to be talking about the next few words. So I'll continue to expand on this. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sister Princess, and God bless you all.